Well, there was only 4 that remained as we bring you the big final day here from the V4 Future Sports Festival. My name is Brandon Smith, and of course, joining me across these 3 days has been Richard Buckley. We've suited and booted because it is the big one. It's Winners Wednesday. Forget Championship Sunday, Richard. We can't really go with that now. It's Winners Wednesday. €25,000 prize pot on the line here live in Budapest, Hungary. And there's only 4 teams that remain. 4 nations, 4 duos. What a final day we have ahead of us.
We started with 8, now we're down to 4. There's loads that's up for grabs. You got the pride. You are the representations of the nations selected here, and that is what they are playing for. First prize will take home €11,000. Second will be taking home €5,000. Third, €3,000, and the fourth place will be taking home €2,000. So just for getting to Winners Wednesday, you're taking home €2,000. The other 4 teams who finished 5th through 8th, well, they will be taking home €1,000 each.
Well, not just that as well, Rich. They will be taking the trophy, the title of calling yourself the 2021 2v2 V4 Future Sports Festival champions. Let's have a look at the standings to see how we've got here, because if you have only just joined us now for our finals day, you've missed 2 packed days of group action. On Monday, we had Group A conclude with the Czechs and the Poles going through just on goal difference. The Slovakians and the Slovenians crashed out of the tournament. Unfortunately, they won't be here in our finals day today. On the flip side, we have the Serbs and the Hungarians both going through. The Romanians came close, but the Croats, it just was a bad day in the office, wasn't it?
It certainly was, yeah. Serbia, arguably our number 1 seed going into today's action. They finished 9 points from 9. As you can see, the trophies have arrived for the players right there. They're the medals, and that is the big boy right there. 2 of those will be given out to our champions. FIFA 22 V4 Future Sports Festival champions taking home €11,000 between you. The top 3 prizes will top 3 players placed will be getting medals as well, but there's only 1 team who can lift the trophy, and by the end of play today we'll find out who it will be.
Absolutely, there's a lot of history that could be up for grabs as well. Last time out, this tournament took place in FIFA 18. That's a long time ago. A lot has changed in the world since then. The V4 Future Sports Festival came back this year on FIFA 22 for 2021 in a new 2v2 format, but there's been 8 nations involved. The way it's been working as well, it's a team of a content creator or an influencer and a pro player glued together into a team. Some teams have gelled, some teams maybe not so much. We saw, the Croats yesterday, 2 fantastic individual players just didn't gel together, didn't mesh together well compared to the Serbs.
Yep.
I mean, we know a lot about them now. We'll hold our hands up on that. You've got a pro player in Bristamir, of course, with a content creator, fellow streamer in Krunalex. They played superbly well. Best defenders in the tournament. The only team to win 3 from 3, 9 points on the board. They come into our finals full of confidence.
Yeah, and look, you can say all of those things, but there's only one thing that matters today, and that is, are you going to perform on the biggest stage? Some people, yes, they might have done outstanding in the group stages. This is a brand new day. This is a fresh day of FIFA, and also from what I understand as well, I've seen a lot of sort of circulating on social media that there might have even been a new patch overnight that's been introduced into the game. So if that is the case, we have got so much new sort of storytelling to be unfolded here. It could be a brand new experience for some of these competitors if they haven't played over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, I didn't read too much into that patch, but I saw finesse shots maybe a little bit more pacey, a little bit more dangerous. But you speak about social media. We want you guys to get involved from all over the world, wherever you're watching from, with the help of one of our fantastic sponsors in CU. We want to see you. Send us selfies of where you're watching from, who you're supporting, what nation, what player, what team are you supporting here on our finals day today. And if you do that, you could win some signed V4 Future Sports Festival power banks coming your way. Of course, if you missed yesterday's action, do not worry. We've got a little video to catch you up to date of what you might have missed. And what a day of action that was yesterday. I mean, Group A was brilliant. Group B was even better with the goals we saw. The matches we saw as well. I think at one point we had a 6-4 game between the Hungarians and the Romanians, wasn't it?
We had a 6-4 and a 6-3. Hungary was scoring all the goals. Highest goal scorers in the tournament thus far. Will that continue into day 3? We'll have to wait and see. I think the big thing for me coming out of day 2 was the Serbian squad. Will they continue their unbelievable defensive performances? They kept 4 clean sheets out of 6 legs of FIFA. That is an incredible stat. Will that continue going into Winners' Wednesday, where the competition level has improved? In both groups, there was a team that got 0 points. That won't be the case today. You're getting no easy rides in today's semi-finals.
But you are getting a second chance, Richard, because it's a double elimination bracket here today. Let's have a look at how the day is going to be played. 6 games in total coming your way. We'll kick it off with our winners bracket semi-finals first and foremost. It's the Czechs against the Hungarians. Emriksson and Mario Oso 99 against Mornagabo and Christopher Madge. And then we'll go on to Lisek and Bajot, the Poles, up against the Serbs, Kruna Alex and Bristomir, of course, up against each other in that one. But if you lose, Richard, you do get a second chance, don't you?
You certainly do. To be fully eliminated from this bracket, you have to lose twice. You get 2 losses before you have to pack your bags and go out of the tournament. So if you win your game, you'll progress through to the next round on the upper bracket. If you lose, however, you will simply fall down to the lower bracket. From there on, you will play against other people who have lost matches. So on that bracket right there, what we're going to see today, what the sort of order of play is going to be: 2 winners bracket semi-finals. We're then going to see a losers bracket semi-final. We're then going to see a losers bracket final, followed by a winners bracket final.
Absolutely. I mean, so much to talk about, so much to go into today as well. We're going to be catching up with some of our players as well that played in yesterday's bracket. Hungary, they are the home nation here in Budapest, where this LAN event is coming to you live from. We caught one of their players yesterday, Christopher Madge, to talk about his overall performance in day 2 of the competition.
I guess both of the 2 matches were really hard, and it has the same importance because when the tournament started, we just decided that to concentrate only on the first match, because it's really important to give us some plus more energy to continue our win streak. But the third one, we know that if we don't win it, then it's not in our hands. So we were really trying hard and trying some counterattacks. That, as you could see, that our gameplay was based on that. But I guess finally it was the right decision, and we could pass through from the group stages. I would say yes, that I am satisfied with it. We could have done better a little bit, because of course we haven't won the second match, but we are through. Of course we have or we can have one mistake tomorrow, as it's a double elimination, but we are really trying to win the whole tournament from the upper stage. So yeah, we don't really want to do any mistake. I think the Czech team is really strong, as they are having 2 pros, and I think it will be a really tough game, and the first goal will be really important. If we score it, then maybe if we can dominate the gameplay and we can control it, but I don't really want to be in a 0-1 situation. So yeah.
A great to hear there from Chris Madge, who is the pro player in that Hungarian team. Rightly says, I mean, who does want to go down to the loser bracket? You want to make it as easy as possible. 2 wins, get yourself into the grand final. 1 more win, you'll be a champion today.
I think the interesting thing coming out of that interview was the self-reflection. Some games we didn't play so well, but once they started getting the ball rolling, it was about the momentum. They wanted to keep that confidence up. They wanted to sort of steamroll opponents. And when they were talking about the Czechs at the end of the interview, they're saying that they have to get that first goal in this game. They have to get that first goal to sort of set up the rest of the game. We've seen a lot of teams go down a goal and not get back, and sort of the game runs away from them. The first goal is even more important in 2v2 FIFA than I think it is in 1v1 for simply how good you can keep possession and control and dominate the game.
And also how tightly contested a lot of the games have been in this 2v2 format. They have been so tightly contested, especially in the first legs. It's only been one team, which was the Serbians, that kept a clean sheet across 2 legs. It was a 2-0 win they had yesterday against the Croats. What a game they had. They've been the best defensive team here so far in Budapest. Do keep a little time, an eye I should say, on our timer in the corner of the screen. That will be, where is it? Richard's side, my side, is it my side? Down here. That will basically be your indicator of when all the games will kick off today. So always keep an eye on that timer of your screen. Will be literally game after game after game after game today. All the games are 2 legs. Aggregate scoreline. If it is a draw after 2 legs, golden goal will be needed. We've used it once. It came in day 1. We haven't needed to use it yesterday, did we?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big sort of indications on coming into day 3 that I'm going to be looking for in the early stages of the game, especially if you played on day 1 of the tournament and you came through the Czechs or also the Polish side, have you improved over the last day? You've had almost 36, 48 hours to play FIFA, to play 2v2. You knew you were coming back on day 3. So how has the improvement happened? Have you improved over the course of the Tuesday session where it was Group B in action? If you were in Group B, what have you done overnight? Have you had time to look at your opponents? Because if anything, the players in Group A have got a slight advantage. They've had more time to prepare, they've had more time to rest, and they've had more time to really get into the nooks and crannies of their opponents as well. From yesterday, they knew who they were going to be playing.
Yeah, and I think that's why the teams in day 2 also played so well, because they had just that extra day to prepare. We saw the Romanians, when they didn't go through, they had time to practice, time to sort of grind the game in a 2v2 environment. What I love, though, about this tournament, really especially about the V4 Future Sports Festival, has been away for 4 editions of the game. It's back this year for FIFA 22. We've got 2 players in our finals today that were in the finals of the 2018, FIFA 18, I should say, V4 Future Sports Festival. And one of those is Emriksson of the Czech Republic. And he caught up with us to tell us how he's feeling ahead of the finals day here.
It was a tough situation because we need to, before the start of the match, we need to score like three goals and 0 concede. So we can achieve, we so achieved, and we play. I think we play so confident. We play very good, and I'm so happy we can go through the playoffs. We play like, even if I say in hours, like 12 hours maybe training. So it's not that long, but it's not that short. So I think we play good. We create so many chances. We defend well, and we can go through. Of course, only 1 lose on the golden goal, and it was like 50-50. And I hope yesterday is a new day. So I hope the form is stay like that. I think the best team from the Group B is Romania, RVP and OV. And the second team, maybe Hungary.
Well, he got one of those predictions right, didn't he, Emriksson? As we said, he was a player that played in the FIFA 18 version of this tournament. He's back in this Czech Republic team that scored loads of goals, rightly so. They had the biggest convincing one-legged game win on day 1. They've won 4 goals to 0 in one of their games. But the Romanians, they were a good team on paper, but they didn't make it through.
No, they certainly didn't. The one thing that these 2 teams have got in common, in their final game of the groups, both had to win by big scorelines to solidify their place into the knockouts. Hungary won 6-3 against the Croats, whereas the Czechs beat the Slovakians 5-1. Both of these teams in their final group match had to win a huge scoreline to progress through. So will we see that level of goal-scoring prowess continue into the knockouts?
And you could have argued as well that Hungary have had all the pressure on their shoulders. They are the home nation here. They need to play well. And of course, they'd love to back up what Gabinho did all those years ago. So without any further ado, let's get the Hungarians out to the stage for this big final day.
We got to turn it on. To turn it on. We got to turn it on.
in their back garden. The Hungarians are ready and raring to go. They're actually the lower ranked seed coming into this game. They finished second in the group, whereas the Czechs finished first in their group. The Hungarians are ready on the stage. Let's meet their competition. Enter Czech Republic.
Well, if you have just joined us for the V4 Future Sports Festival, we've had these incredible walkouts happening across the 3 days. They feel a little bit more special now, don't they, Richard? It's finals day today.
I mean, you walk in front of the trophy that you're about to win. It's like the World Cup final where you walk out and you see the trophy, you see the gold cup that you're about to potentially get your hands on in 5-6 hours' time. One of these two sides could potentially be lifting that trophy aloft. Will it be the Czechs, who have been a very solid outfit through the entire tournament, or will it be the favourites, especially here live in Budapest? Everybody wants these teams to win. It's their home nation in the Hungarians. Molnár Gábor came so close 3.5 years ago. Can he go one step further and take home first prize?
Yeah, and the way, as we said, this duo works, it should be an influencer and a pro player. That Czech Republic team, as we've been looking at and talking about, you know, Emriksson, or as the Twitch chat was calling him, Clutchriksson, on day one after he clutched up with his teammate Mario Oso 99. Both FIFA Pro players still to this day. Of course, you've got Emriksson playing for Sparta Praha. Didn't make the qualification number one in the Global Series. However, his teammate plays for Entropic, won plenty of titles in the Czech Republic in the last recent years. And again, they make a formidable duo of what they have been. On the flip side, though, you've got a man that's tasted this tournament before. Molnár Gábor, Mr. Hungary FIFA in the nicest way possible. He is literally the star of the show, and he is the man that everyone's going to be looking towards as an inspiration in terms of sort of FIFA esports, the growth of it, everything involved is a whole. So this is a really, really big one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it unfolds in this matchup right now. It's going to be the Hungarians from right to left, Gabo and Chris Madge, and in the red and blue strip from left to right, it's going to be the Czechs.
Of course, a two-legged game in front of them right now. If you do lose, you drop down into that loser bracket semi-final. You win, you'll be in the winners bracket final. And only one game away from, of course, making it into the grand final today, which will be our last and final game. Where one team will pick up €11,000. One thing we have come to see, though, from Domination Gabo and his teammate LV Chris, they love a phone call. They're on a phone call right now between the two of them. Communication is a key part of 2v2 FIFA esports, and we've learned so much about 2v2 just across these last 2 days about what works, what makes a formidable duo. Set pieces playing such a big part in it as well.
Yeah, having those essentials down to a T, having the set pieces, having the passing moves that you like to do. We've seen a lot of crosses into the box as well, playing on the likes of Janola and also R9 when he can get in the air.
Nicely done, Emriksson! Timed it green, it's the first chance, and with the first save that Edwin van der Sar will have to make. He was sublime in day one, whipped towards the box, towards the back post. It's time green again, and this time it's the post that denies Neymar and the Czechs for a one-goal lead. It's still not fully dealt with yet. Brilliant ball in the box, little ball roll scoop turn, didn't work out. However, that's 2 warning shots fired in the first 15 minutes to the hosts.
Chance.
And they're not done yet. Chance deflected.
Oh, he could have played him in.
Pretty routine day in the end there for Edwin van der Sar.
I should have played Pele in. Mbappe bounced up to him. Pele was making a really good run just to the left-hand side of him. 2 early shots coming in from the Czechs. They definitely look the team that's starting the strongest here. that cross to the back post from the short corner, and Kunku whipped it in, and Neymar with a great volley. Only the post separating the Czechs and a 1-goal lead.
It's the first time that the Hungarians have been in the box of the Czechs now. 20 minutes into the game. David Ginola maybe could have went down to ground in another day there. We haven't seen David Ginola. Get to know David Ginola. Foot hero item, new to the game this year in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team. He has been playing, if not better than an icon, and multiple times across these last 2 days.
He's also got that versatility as well. You can play him straight down the middle. You can play him a little bit deeper as a cam. You can play him out wide as he looks to be here. Sort of, even as a centre mid, you could deploy him in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow as a right or a left centre mid. 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, tall, physical, pacey. He ticks all the boxes.
Mbappe, Pele, it's time green. That's one thing the Czechs have been so good at. Every time they have a shot, Richard, it's always time green. They're not wasting anything. They don't want to waste anything, and rightly so. Goretzka. He's been there. Sort of danger man from corners. The finesse. That was very ambitious from Pele. And into the hands of Edwin van der Sar it will fall.
Yeah, a little bit of space opened up for Pele. I don't mind the finesse shot in that area right there. We've seen him fly in. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen a finesse shot from an unlikely range flying to the back of the net.
Yeah, speaking of finesse shots, Poland in action next tonight. They're a duo that have enjoyed a 30-yard finesse or two. They did come successful in one of them, though. I think it was the weak foot of Mbappe. Barred in, timed it green. It was a goal to remember for the Poles. They got them out into today's playoffs, in which there is a lot of history up for grabs. Writing yourself into the history books in this tournament. V4 Future Sports Festival. Mbappe is onside. Edwin van der Sar, sweeper keeper. We'll collect that one.
And the reason before the game started, I really did want to make a mention of the 2 wins that both teams needed in their final group game. It goes to show that when the pressure's on and when it's really ramped up and it's a must-win scenario, and not only that, but a must-win scenario by a comfortable goal margin as well. The Czechs by 4 goals and the Hungarians by 3 goals in their final game to solidify their place into the next round. Both teams were successful. Both teams turned up when the pressure was on. And I don't expect to see a sort of backward step in their progression forward in this tournament. I think they're going to ramp it up even further.
Someone that has ramped it up game after game has been Nkunku in the midfield. The French midfielder from the Bundesliga. His player of the month item has not looked out of place at all these last couple of days, has it?
Yeah, there's two variants you can use them as well. If you want the higher rated, more sort of well-rounded Nkunku, you want to go for the player of the month. But if you want the passing boost, that's definitely the rule breaker Nkunku that came out as an SBC during that specific promo, probably around 3 to 4 weeks ago now. So I think he has got the most special items out of any player on the game thus far as well, that Nkunku, and he's only going to get more. I imagine probably some Champions League foot items down the line that he's going to be picking up to his name. And if he continues this throughout the rest of the season, a team of the season item is right there for the taking.
Well done. Speak about final nerves, final day nerves. Although it's been end-to-end these first 45, there is no goals to show for it so far. The Czechs will feel like they should have had a goal or two. There are a number of efforts that were denied by Edwin van der Sar off the woodwork. And that should just about do us for the first 45 in this tale, Richard. 0-0 between the Czechs and the Hungarians.
Yeah, a couple of really good chances from the Czechs in the opening 15-20 minutes. The cross to the back post, Neymar. I didn't know if we were actually going to pass it back across the box. Maybe there could have been an opportunity there. But when you're timing it green from 7 yards out, you sort of expect it to be hitting the back of the net, the post. The only difference, the Vinicius Junior chance down the inside right channel as well. Good save from Van der Sar. Expect us to be saying that a lot about Edwin van der Sar, because he does clutch up in those big scenarios. He does make huge saves, very similar to what Petr Cech will be doing later on in the afternoon.
Absolutely. As you said, we've got some unbelievable games also on the way today. The Poles against the Serbs. The only team that have gone 9 points from 9.
We also didn't see the kickoff from the Hungarians. in the opening couple of minutes, because it was actually their kickoff, as the Czechs have got us back underway for the second half. They were playing the, if you didn't see it, long ball all the way back to centre back, and then the long ball over the top for R9, who was running in on the last defender.
Vinicius. He does start in the team for the Czechs. He has provided quite a lot of impact normally off the bench for a lot of the teams that have played in this V4 Future Sports Festival tournament. You've sort of got two different styles, haven't you? The Czechs have enjoyed their short corners with Leon Goretzka being involved. Quite a few of them. Here's Pele. Again, it's always time green. Everything that's going through their final third at the moment. They don't waste chances, although you might be thinking, well, yeah, they haven't scored a goal there. They're still ensuring, between both of the players, they're looking for those 90-plus success rates in a goal.
Not necessarily just looking for the high percentage chance at goal, but they're also hedging the bets on the shots they're taking. If you time the shot green, you are increasing the chance of it going in. So every shot that they take, they're timing it green to sort of increase the chance that it does hit the back of the net or go in, limiting the sort of error in their own shots. They look good money right now. They look good for money, do the Czechs.
They had the whole day off yesterday, didn't they? I saw on social media between the two of them, they were sort of hanging out with the Slovakians.
It's a great ball.
Exploring Budapest. Now they could be 1-0 down. If it wasn't for Klosterman at the back there, R9 would have had easy pickings for the host side. Whipped in towards the back post. David Ginola was there. Back to Neymar. It could fall kindly. Neymar tried to just sting that into the feet of R9. I was speaking to Monogabo just before we kicked off today. I think he was more proud to mention the fact that 4 years down the line he's still back in this final. And also 4 years down the line, Gabinho's retired.
Is that what he said as well?
No, he didn't say that, but I'm adding that into the mix myself. A player that won this tournament is retired. Of course, I fully understand the reasons why. Speaking to Gabinho, he's part of our Hungarian broadcast team. And €40,000. Last time this tournament did take place, it was a €100,000 prize pot.
I think it sort of goes to show the drive that Monogabo has got as well. He almost wants to win this so badly. Chance, what a save from Aaron van der Sar. The rebound, R9 will take the lead for the Hungarians with only 20 minutes left to play.
I don't know if you saw it in the replay, there was a brilliant little pass to Monogabo, just played round the corner to Chris Madge. They were able to find the cut back inside. It might have been an easy bounce back, but R9's never missing from that. And it will be the host side, the Hungarians. Strike first, some could argue against the run of play. But they're not going to moan, are they? 70 minutes on the clock. R9 opens up his account for Monogabo and Chris Madge.
We're just talking about the will to win for Monogabo, and it's definitely rubbed off on Chris Madge. When you've got such a powerful presence.
He was actually telling me that back in FIFA 18, Chris Madge just missed out on qualification for the finals of the V4 Future Sports Festival, and again shows that he's still got that drive 4 years down the line, Richard, to come back and to want to be part of this. He's part of LV Esports. He's had a very decent start to the FIFA 22 competitive year. He has just qualified in Season 1 from the Elite Division rival grind that a lot of pro players have been on, which means I believe he'll be able to play in the Champions League and the first sort of qualification online qualifier of the year, which you'll be hoping that he can get to the playoffs and then the FIFA E World Cup down the line. Chance R9 for two. The Hungarians! It's one of those, maybe too much time.
It's a tough chance. It's a really tough chance to take, because you don't know, do I shoot across the goalkeeper? Do I shoot near post? That corner's a little bit weak, and Kunku does pick it up. a high and hopeful ball into the back post and goes sailing out of play. But I think that was actually Molagabo who had the shot with R9 there. He'll be very disappointed that he's not found the back of the net. One-on-one scenario. Can't beat Van der Sar.
Should have done a little bit more. With that chance he had. Big scoop of play out wide. Headed nicely back. This is nice from the Czechs. Pele! No! We've been hyping them up about their time green finishes all day long. We've only been playing our first game today. That's time green.
It's probably hitting the back of the net.
You're thinking that's 1-1, aren't you? But the passage of play there was brilliant from the Czechs.
Well, again, it was all about the driven pass. It went out wide, they headed it down, and then once it went into Nkunku, he just fired the ball into the attacking players. The driven pass, it's a passing sort of technique and a passing type that you simply have to get into your game. If you're not using that driven pass, you'll struggle to create chances when you're playing against a low block. On FUT Champions, on division rivals, or in competitive tournaments like this, you have to use it as that piercing pass from defence into midfield, then into attack.
Although they've had a lot to deal with, Hungarians, they're going to come out of this one with a 1-goal lead. And he's one of those in this 2v2 format. If you do not take your chances, it really can come back to haunt you. The same goes with any game of FIFA. Game management on a tee again for the Hungarians. They have been grinding out practice in this 2v2 format. Happy to play into full time.
Maybe one more chance.
Time is pretty much up. Will the referee continue it? It's one back, clear it out of play, and that will do us for leg one, game one. In our winners bracket semi-finals, the Hungarians lead the Czechs by 1-0. However, if you really look back on that game, it looks at all the chances that the Czechs had. They'll be thinking, how have we not even drawn that game?
I don't necessarily think that the clean sheet was through defensive prowess or through a defensive masterclass from the Hungarians. It was more about the Czechs sort of not really taking their chances. However, you're not going to complain if you're the Hungarians. You've kept a clean sheet. One of your first clean sheets that you've kept in the entire tournament thus far. They've not kept a clean sheet in the entire tournament until this game right now. So when you talk about bringing your best performance onto the main stage, onto the big sort of Winners' Wednesday, we're going to call it Championship Sunday, it's midweek, the midweek game, the finals day, this is where you want to do it, and this is where you want your best performances to be played out.
No, absolutely. A brilliant start from the host nation. As we said, they'll be hoping that they can go back-to-back champions, as Gabinho did 4 years ago here in Budapest. This very place where it did happen. We're going to go to a quick break now. When we return, we'll have that second leg for you between the Czechs and the Hungarians. Will the Czechs be able to bounce back, or will the Hungarians put themselves a spot in that winners' bracket final? Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a few.
Welcome back to the V4 Future Sports Festival. Winners Wednesday, finals day here. Live from Budapest, Hungary. Joined by myself, Richard Buckley and Brandon Smith. Winners bracket semi-final number 1 here. So if you are just joining us, you've not missed too much action. Just the 1 goal so far, Brandon.
Yeah, only the 1 goal that's been scored, and it's in the favour of the host, Hungarians. The duo of Molnar Garbo and Chris Madge do lead by a goal to nil. It was R9 that scored that goal for them. If you aren't aware of how this tournament does run as well, it's a 2v2 tournament with a number of restrictions in play, Richard. Those restrictions obviously include 190-plus icon outfield, which on the one side is Pele for the Czechs in this game, and of course on the flip side for the Hungarians, they choose to go for R9. The goalkeeper doesn't count towards those restrictions at all, and there's just a whole mixture of other rules and regulations in there.
Yeah, there certainly is. You're allowed up to 3 non-icon players with an overall rating of 90 or higher, so we're talking Cristiano Ronaldo if you want to use him, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, etc. And all other players must have an overall rating of 89 or below. So that's where David Ginola comes in as sort of that wild card rule. Your goalkeeper isn't caused to any restrictions. And if you do not have 1 icon, you may substitute an extra 90-plus non-icon player into the teams.
And there we have it. That's the restrictions that are being followed. There have been across the 2 days. And it's provided a lot to talk about in terms of how the teams have been moulded and built together. A mixture of leagues and icons for heroes, just gluing teams together with the chemistry they've been able to offer. We are back underway though. And it will be the Czechs in the white from right to left in this one. And the Hungarians from left to right in that red strip. They lead by a goal to nil. And if they win this game, they book a spot in the winners' final. It's a guaranteed top 3 finish, basically.
Yeah, you'll be going through to the winners' bracket, meaning you're guaranteed to take home a medal at least, and that's dipped into the box. Nothing comes of it in the end.
And a little bit more cash as well, Richard. Guaranteed at least €3,000 in the process for that. Remember, the winning team today picks up €11,000, of course, split between the 2 players. €5,500 for a few days of FIFA. Isn't too badly done, especially to get 2v2 experience, which is vital this year in the global series with how things have changed. And I mean, if these teams do well, it wouldn't surprise me if half of them stick together this year.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got a potential Gold 1, Elite 3 former player on that Serbian side. Not sure what he's going to be doing in that particular duo, but looking forward to seeing how they bounce back on Winners Wednesday. They had a fantastic day yesterday. Will they be able to put up an equally impressive performance against the Poles?
Yeah, of course, that's the Serbs we're talking about there. Bristamir and Krunalex, 2 players, former teammates out. Red Star Belgrade showed so much chemistry and just an unbelievable display of defensive qualities, to be honest. Only conceded 3 goals across the whole day. Did score 9 goals. And when I was speaking to Bristamir earlier, he said if you look at the goals we conceded, one of them was from that R9 mistake at the back. Other than that, didn't really concede 1 too many goals, but too many bad goals or mistakes.
Well, there nearly been no mistakes. They were flawless in the points tally. 9 out of 9 from the group standings. 3 wins out of 3.
Bikini. Here's the Czechs now building up their attack. They do need a goal. Anything around these areas is normally time green. This is nicely done. Pele fakes the shot. And to be honest, the build-up there looked very dangerous indeed. Could be another one. Mbappe drops the shoulder. Well stood there by Cordova at the back, the foot hero from the Serie A. However, the press is relentless from the Czechs.
Oh
and very nearly that could have found its way into the goal of Edmund Sarv. You just see Chris Madge there just saying, do not mess around with it. Get the ball out. Get it cleared. Don't give it back to me. Another chance.
Still on.
Corner played short. They tried to get it into the box, deflected back to the Czechs. It will fall. Shot from distance. It was very ambitious.
Imagine that had gone in then. The own goal. Just dinked it off of Van der Sar's head. We might have seen a capitulation live on stage. There's been a few wayward passes though. That one was more than Garbo giving the ball away.
They're a little bit stuck in this transition at the moment, aren't they? Dinked into Mbappe! Edwin van der Sar was brave.
He's been outstanding, Van der Sar.
Just about saves the Hungarians there. I mean, Petr Cech was great yesterday for the Serbs. Of course, he's going to be involved again today. But Edwin van der Sar has been ridiculous.
The different sort of saves that he's making as well. He's getting down low, he's getting to the top corners, he's rushing out.
Hungarians with a chance, cut back, could it be two? Dealt with it well. It's one thing they've been very good at, the Czechs. When they get to these sort of areas, they find a way to play out 99% of the time. Maybe on that occasion there was an issue there with the controller, I believe. Pause has been cued. 33 minutes played here. Scoreline still remains the same, Richard.
Yeah, it does. I'm not too sure how, because the Czechs have had some really good chances in this first 45 minutes, as they did in the first leg as well. They'll be kicking themselves if they go through this entire game without putting the ball in the back of the net. Thumbs up what looks like from the Czechs as well, as the headset calls back on from Chris Madge, and we're going to get back underway. I imagine the ball will get thrown back. There you go. And all seems rosy.
Yeah. I think some great moments of sportsmanship is what you expect to see in this 2v2 format here. It's the first LAN that a lot of these guys have had for nearly 2 years. That's why it's been such a welcome tournament.
Everyone's loved it. Even the people who've been eliminated have said just what a experience it's been.
And a lot of them are here today, Richard, still in the back room watching teammates, fellow friends. Even the Slovakians said watch out for the Czechs today. They backed them to go the full distance. And I saw before the show started, Christie from that team was out on the stage alongside the two players, just making sure they're ready to go for today. Sort of feels a little bit weird, isn't it, that Romania didn't make it through. Looking at the players, they had Razvan Pui, pro player at Team Hullet, Ovi, a legend by his own name in the FIFA World.
They just couldn't. They really did struggle putting the ball in the back of the net. They had a huge XG. They had a lot of chances. The Czechs struggling to put the ball in the back of the net as well, it seems, at the moment.
It's just Pele. He's struggling to find the back of the net, isn't he? He is the danger man. A lot of everything is going through him. And at the moment, he hasn't been able to strike gold as of yet.
Romanians only did score 8 goals, but they were very leaky, conceding 12.
Hungarians, Richard, netted 14 goals before this game, make that 15 now. Highest goal scorers in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at their performances as well, they put 6 past the Croats, they put 6 past the Romanians.
But also very leaky.
Yeah, they were conceding a lot of goals, and that's what I've been most impressed by here. They've kept it solid at the back. I mean, through their own ability as well, and Van der Sar's playing a big part in that. He'll take some of the credit, but for the most part,
and for a
this
team,
has surprised me.
For a team that's gone through, Richard, they have the worst goals conceded record. They conceded 9 before this game came in.
And on the other side, the Czechs have been relatively neutral in their goals for and goals against.
Yeah, scored 10 goals, and they needed to score a lot of goals in their last game. They scored 5 of them. They scored 5. They can only concede 1. It was 5-1 win in their last game of day 1. Back on Monday, conceding 6 in total. Similar to the Poles, who are in action next against the Serbs. Winner of this plays winner of that in a winner's bracket final. The two losers meet in what will be an elimination game of FIFA. That'll be our 3rd game of today. So do not go anywhere. We have got FIFA esports action coming at you all day long here in our Winners Wednesday live from the V4 Future Sports Festival. Draxler. I always forget he's on the pitch.
He just sort of goes about his business, does it, inside the midfield? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, you're not noticing he's doing things wrong, but you're also not noticing he's scoring or assisting. He just ticks it over. I do feel like these games absolutely fly by as well. 45 minutes left already.
Only one goal scored so far. Oh, they're going to keep that clean sheet, the Hungarians. Looking for a second. It would give them breathing space. Van der Sar. Easily able to just get that one down. Emeriksson. This is where it can be dangerous. Is he onside? And Mbappe! Maybe a cheeky chip could have been on there.
I just think there could have been a touch taken. I'll be honest with you. I feel like you've got room to take a touch and then reassess your options. When you've got the goalkeeper rushing out at you, especially a goalkeeper of Van der Sar's stature, it's going to be hard to put it past him on either side.
Chance. Again, it was just one of them. It was a bit too rushed from the Czechs. But when they get into these areas, it is relentless. Here's Vinicius now.
Chance.
Save with the feet of Van der Sar. That could have been dangerous.
I think it were a pass. I don't think he shot that. I think that's a pass to the back post.
Maybe hence the animation that was a little bit different from the goalkeeper. They need to grab this game by the scruff of their neck through the Hungarian. David Ginola has been very quiet, which is very unlike the French foot hero.
Vinicius has come to life in this second half.
He's been a star, hasn't he, for the Czech? Chance, Pele, brilliant tackle. Called over. Didn't need to be called on that time, it was Marquinhos. Ginola just called that. Feet completely. You can see Chris on the Garbo just not happy with. Well, they're technically playing so far right now. There's a couple of words between the two players. They're currently in a phone call, believe it or not. They're the only team that's actually been doing that.
He's not got his headset on at the moment. Is it a bad line?
It's a bad line, or there's just an annoyance there, maybe.
Top of the screen, you see the Czechs seem pretty casual at the moment. There's 25 minutes left to play. They must feel like they're going to get a goal. When you look at the chances they've had, when you look at how many saves they've made Van der Sar make, they must be thinking, look, as long as we just keep on trying, we just keep on putting on the pressure, they will crack at some point. In this second leg, the Hungarians have offered very little in the final third.
It's just a matter of time now, Rich. They've got 20 minutes left to have the Czechs to find a goal. Punch into the feet of Mbappe. Now, in these areas, they are normally good. They time their shots green. The skill move inputs have been really silky as well. Pele, another great block called over that time.
So many bodies in the way there. It was a really nice cancel inside the box from Pele. Tried to turn it back and sort of throw the defender off. This could be a big chance.
Called over in a running race for Mbappe. The Czechs looking for that goal. Still double tap pass. Pele was waiting, but the ball had to be squeezed through two red shirts. It just wasn't possible. Nicely done. Is this their chance? Vinicius on his own. Rebound. Mbappe saved off the knee of Edwin van der Sar.
How have the Czechs not got a goal here? They'll be absolutely kicking themselves. Vinicius Jr., great strike across the goal. It got deflected, it got saved, and then it looked like a goal was gaping.
They are just sucking up all this pressure at the moment, aren't they, the Hungarians? But for how much longer can they hold on, Richard? It's wave after wave of attack. And soon you'd like to think that defence is going to be flooded.
put it in. He's done really well there, actually, to get a goal kick out of that. And look, the team press, the constant pressure, the bodies flying forward will start to become more and more apparent in this final 10 minutes.
The word you used before we even kicked off today, Richard, was the first goal is massive. That first goal could be the winner right now for the Hungarians. And you look back at the goal it was quite a fortunate goal. Building up again. Here come the Czechs. Goretzka, Pele. Needs options, needs support. But on the flip side, the Hungarians, they need to do something with possession now because they keep giving it back to the Czechs.
We wanted to play that to R9, and R9 ran in behind Ronaldo, and he had room there as well. Unfortunately, the ball just couldn't find its way through to him, and they turned possession back over. They might get one more roll of the dice here, the Czechs.
Can't imagine the stress on the flip side the Hungarians must be after. Just so much pressure on their shoulders. They win this, they're in a winner's bracket final, one game away from the final of the V4 Future Sports Festival. Can they find a crack in this Hungarian defence? The Czechs have been knocking on the door non-stop for 180 minutes. Near enough. And at the moment, there's no answer. The only answer's been Edwin van der Sar. And Kunku, added time now. Goretzka, punch into the feet. That should do us. And it's in their hands. They give possession away. What are they doing? Pele. Neymar. Pele on the volley. And again, they just about leave unscared. The Hungarians book a spot in the winner's bracket final. But Jesus. Just about, Richard.
I don't know how they've managed to get out of that game with a clean sheet.
See, Chris, he's just been through all the stress in the world.
1-0, 0-0. The Hungarians, not pretty. Not good in the final third. They gave the ball away so many times, but they've just about squeezed through. And that will be a guaranteed top 3 finish for the Hungarians in their home country. That is one step further than Molnagabo went last time the V4 Future Sports Festival was here. I believe he finished 4th in the tournament 3 years ago. He's managed to get through. It wasn't pretty at all, as I just said. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest, for the Czechs. I think they'll be disappointed as well. They played well. They didn't not play well. They created chances. Their XG is probably about 73.
Yeah, I literally just saw Mario Oso just point to the screen of the XG. It was where the XG stat was. They deserved the goal from that. They were literally just knocking on the door of the Hungarians for 180 minutes in that one. But they just couldn't find that missing part of the puzzle.
No. It really was just a case of they cannot put the ball in the back of the net. They tried everything. They tried double tap cutbacks. They tried shots across goal. They tried finesse shots. They tried corners. All of their sort of arsenal, all of the tools in the toolbox, nothing could puncture that Hungarian defence, and they've come out unscathed with a clean sheet. Incredible.
And yeah, they are one win away now from the final of the V4 Future Sports Festival. €3,000 is guaranteed for the Hungarian duo of Molnagabo and Chris Madge. Unfortunately, though, for Emriksson and Mario Oso, it's a loser bracket semi-final for them. They'll be playing the losers now of our next game today, which will be the Serbs and the Poles, Poland against Serbia. Before we go to a quick break, a massive thank you to one of our sponsors here at the V4 Future Sports Festival in CU. You guys have been sending in your selfies from all over the world. Please keep them coming in. There is a unique link in the Twitch chat right now. Give it a click, send us a selfie, tell us who you're supporting or which of the final teams you are supporting here to go the full way. And if you do that, you might be able to get your hands on a V4 Future Sports power bank signed from us all here live in the studio in Budapest, Hungary. So get your selfies in. We're going off for a quick break now. When we return, we'll have our second game in the winners bracket. Poland against Serbia. We'll see you in a few minutes.
don't know.